I trust that if you received the message, then it might be because you heard about the situation that happened during the workplace either from the news, or you heard about it and seen it in person. My name is Steve. I am the main protagonist of the famous 2011 video game, called Minecraft. My team in Mojang and all of my friends on the Google City and in the city of China are aware of the situation that has been going on yesterday, that some reports on television have reported and come across. The situation took place at this workplace right here. We sincerely apologize for this mischief. And this includes you and me, and any other people and reports. We are going to make sure that this disaster does not happen at all ever again in the future. Obviously, we did not expect and or never intended for this catastrophe to happen in the near future. All we knew is that there are less security guards in that workplace at that time, and we are currently set to hire more people for security on that workplace. And we knew that trying to make sure the entire building was safe with a very few amount of guards we had was a challenge. The building was a mess and was completely burnt, destroyed and suffered from mass attacks by two certain people. Currently, we are set to rebuild the entire workplace, but this time, with more security guards and more moderators on the building. We are going to make sure that this ruin does not happen on other buildings, cities, provinces, countries and continents, before the world is going on a massive crisis. The buildings did have a few errors made in there, but the things that happened during the ruin was downright ridiculous. And now, we knew exactly who is behind this. Blade, who is one of Zelda's allies, and Eldritch's past self from 2022. These two signed the deal with Zelda himself. The deal was that Zelda will give both of them a staging $60 million each if both of them caused terrorism and arson on this hard-working building. Keep that in mind. The building took 2 months to make. Ever since the rebuild of the workplace itself, things have not been the way it should have been. Of course, we have expected some errors and mistakes on that building. Of course, it was never perfect first try. That's normal when it comes to building a workplace. But nonetheless, just 1 month after the rebuild of the building was finalized, these two were trying to sabotage the workplace and caused chaos by entering on the room that they are not supposed to be on. And the room was intended only for moderators from Mojang when they have information coming right up. Which is why I, Minecraft Steve, decided to keep it on the down low. At that time, the moment there were no moderators in that room, Blade and RetroMaga02K2 completely had the terrible idea to steal a trampoline, and using it to jump to the roof of the workplace, and went to the staff room. They even stole several guns from the gun store, and went to the building. They managed to trash the entire staff room before going to the offices, where they've shot over 100 people in the building. 30 people have died, 70 were injured and most of them were rushed to the hospital after the massive incident. A victim that worked in the workplace at that time was Minecraft Alex. She was not killed nor injured, but she was kidnapped. The staff from Mojang and China Studios eventually tried to stop them. And this is how I, Minecraft Steve, came in to stop these two idiots. There were only two options left. Either recall the entire rebuild of the workplace completely or even just giving it up and cancel the workplace and move to another existing workplace altogether. Back in January of 2025, we eventually finalized the first version of this workplace. But in April of 2025, due to me thinking that it needs some improvement, we rebuilt the entire workplace, taking care of all of the errors that have been on the workplace. Despite that, a few errors were still not taken care of. And that puts us to that we are currently in. We knew that one part of this is the lack of more security guards to take care of the workplace, but that is just one singular part. The main part is the fact that the devil, Zelda, was very strong to do a very dangerous deal, and he programmed both Blade and Retro to completely commit arson and terrorism. Those two, which are both Blade and Retro, alongside their master, Zelda, could never be sorry for what they have done to the gun store, the trampoline, and most importantly, the workplace. These three have screwed completely beyond reputation and fucked up with no return and no apology. We decided to actually give it up, and never build this workplace ever again. Which would mean that this is the end of this workplace. And we are eventually going to move on to another workplace. At least karma has hit both Blade and Retro. As Zelda and Blade was compelled by the power of Jesus Christ and Retro was sentenced to 20 years in jail, and a possibility to be electrocuted by the electric chair. Moving on to another workplace. For now. But just remember, if anyone is trying to pull out terrorism and arson on the existing workplace, then we will never build workplaces again. Bye.